In the flow of time, there is always a mysterious blue monitor that appears all over the universe. He has seen the glorious rise of ancient civilization, and he has experienced the brilliant and mysterious dark clouds, battered the night sky, and Belinda in the dormitory was awakened by the light for a moment. He crawled out of the window and saw a huge flying ship flying through the night sky and landed in his yard. Before he could wait to turn around, a few robots with flashing metal lights broke into the house and began to destroy Belinda's home. As if in search of something, a robot slowly came to Belinda, and the first thing he said was that he was the queen. At this point, the searched robot found a certificate and saw the name Belinda written on the certificate. Belinda suddenly remembered the past of 17 years ago. At that time, her boyfriend, Alvin, was concerned about Belinda. I don't know where he bought a new machine for her. At the time, he thought it was just a meaningless joke, but he didn't want to be the trigger for this disaster. The old lady next door heard the movement and hurried out to check the situation, and Belinda had been sent to the flying ship, and behind the flying ship, the doctor drove the TARDIS before the doctor noticed the space movement, so he kept following the footsteps of Belinda, but he was still not stopped from being taken away. Belinda desperately explained the origin of the certificate on the flying ship, that the planet was bought by Alan to give to himself before the machine should go to Alan. But at this point, the strange thing happened. Time went into the bad videotape. The picture continued to slow down and suddenly jumped, and everything around it became chaotic and twisted. The doctor felt something strange in the TARDIS, but the situation soon calmed down. Belinda looked out the window and saw a huge yellow planet right in front of her. After a safe landing, a woman named Sasha was already waiting for Belinda to finally find someone to talk to and ask her to turn off the machines. But Sasha said that now humans are completely submissive to robots. A few robots flew through the valley of the warship and brutally blew up people's homes. The planet had long been a maze of corridors, and the doctor didn't know when he was among the crowd. In the middle of the scan of the robot, immediately enthusiastic, and Belinda sat on the throne of the queen. This absurd and strange scene made Belinda unable to touch her head. As soon as Belinda sat down, the robot immediately announced that Belinda's wedding was about to begin, and the bridegroom was a huge humanoid robot named AI Creator. The creator took out a star certificate and the same one on Belinda, and the so-called wedding was to put Belinda into his own body. As one, Belinda will become a metal puppet that will lose all emotions. Belinda didn't even think about it and rejected it right away. But the robot reminded her that the queen had to obey the creator unconditionally. I'm going to walk in slowly, but I'm going to tell you about the history of this planet, where robots and humans used to live in peace, but 10 years ago, robots suddenly happened. Belinda noticed that there seemed to be a hidden mystery in the words of the doctor. Every sentence after the end of the sentence will say a word that has nothing to do with it. In order to make Belinda notice a turn, she listened carefully one by one, and finally understood the robot to conquer the world, and the thunder was no match for the robot. In the end, he could only submit to the AI creator, but after the AI creator took over the world, he began to look for Belinda. But the robot did not know that once Belinda was brought here, it was the beginning of the Thunder Resistance. Although the robot was thrown out of the gunfight, the defense of these robots was so high that one shot was enough to destroy the human ashes. The killer let the doctor take Belinda away and left the cover for himself, but the next second he disappeared in front of the doctor Belinda, who responded, pulled the doctor away, and the doctor and a few merchants rushed to the transmission town and then came to an unknown location. In order to prevent the robot from tracking, he returned directly to the transmission town. At this point, the sound of the robot was suddenly heard, and it turned out that he was also. Then the doctor brought Belinda to the abode of the human traitor. There are many merchants here. Belinda didn't say a word. She took the initiative to help save these strangers, because he's a nurse, and that's his job. Belinda found that the technology here is far beyond the Earth, and the inspector doesn't need a complex X-ray at all. He just needs a perspective, and he can check his body, but the test results left him in the dark because Belinda was curious and wanted to discuss with the doctor which one was better, their body or the human body. The doctor seriously stopped him and told him that once he got stronger, he would go down the wrong path. Then the doctor revealed his own structure is not the same. The doctor said it was for Belinda. Someone told him that Belinda had a very important role on the timeline. Belinda was confused and didn't understand how it was related to herself. All the key is on the certificate. The doctor found that the AI creator and Belinda both have this certificate, and the only difference is that the AI creator is longer. How can the same object appear in the same place at the same time? And that's why the doctor has been following Belinda's footsteps. On the day Belinda was taken away by the plane, he also found his home, but a little slower. Then they asked Belinda to come here and see if she had ever had the feeling of jumping the needle, because it was caused by the time gap. Belinda left the Earth on May 24, 2025, but because of the jumping needle, the doctor was 6 months ahead of Belinda to get here. Thaddeus was detained, and the doctor was arrested, and the judge saved him in time and then met Sasha and was taken in by the rebels and then mixed up with the upper class as a historian. At this time, there were soldiers whispering behind Belinda that Sasha was dead because of him. Fortunately, the doctor was saved in time. At this time, the attack came again. In the face of the powerful robots, the underground resistance troops could only pray in despair, and in this terrible atmosphere they began to blame Belinda for all the mistakes and blame her. For all the mistakes, Belinda made a decision at this time that he launched a sweeper robot that was shut down by the doctor. It wasn't long before the army got here and the doctor was about to take off. Belinda said it was all her own. In order not to let more people die, Belinda was willing to work with the AI creator to save the lives of the resistance army and the doctor. Belinda, who had surrendered, came to the face of the AI creator, and the AI creator said something strange. The truth of the machine man came to light. He turned out to be Belinda's ex-boyfriend who broke up 17 years ago. Belinda was taken to the spaceship and then rushed to the robot to find Alan, so the robot forcibly took Alan away that night. Time to make a mess to let Alan's spit at the rebellion circle before the machine and was transformed by the robot and then became the AI creator to plan all this. He wondered, so he chose to break up. Now Alan has control of the entire planet. Alan thought they were meant to be a couple and they were going to be together soon. Belinda realized that there was no other way but to let Alan go. Alan ordered Belinda to issue a certificate saying that this was proof of their love. The doctor took the certificate from the flower and let the sweeper give it to Belinda. The moment the two certificates were handed over, the power of the 1571 came to an end. Their fusion was about to begin. As soon as it happened, the doctor immediately went down to Belinda. With Alan's disappearance, the crisis was perfectly resolved. The robot was no longer valued as an AI creator, and it would continue to contribute to human development. In order to commemorate the hero's death, was pushed over. But Belinda was not interested at all. Let the doctor send it back first and then investigate it yourself. But when he calmed down, the doctor still asked the doctor to send him back to Earth. But the doctor didn't seem to be happy because on a distant planet in the 51st century, I've seen Belinda's offspring, but they're just carved out of the same mold. The doctor thought it was definitely not a coincidence. But Belinda didn't believe it was just a matter of fate, and she had just witnessed the consequences of killing a new doctor. Belinda didn't dare to wake up, and the doctor was helpless and ready to start Thaddeus and send him back. But at this point, no matter how hard you try, you can't get back to Belinda's. 2025, May 25th. The doctor was really worried about what was stopping them from going back to its landmarks. It's hard not to think of the three-piece plot of the mice-sized star that Yun Tianming decided to give to Chengxin at the end of the day. Although they are all stars, their motives are very different. Yun Tianming wants to create a gift that will never betray Chengxin, a gift that has surpassed personal emotions and become the hope of civilization. The meaning of the star sent to Belinda by Alan is to satisfy his desire to control him and to play Belinda with the palm of his hand. All that is done is beneficial. The real love is not to occupy the stars, but to make him shine forever on the track of his own. The doctor mentioned in this article that Belinda is a very important person, which is also the reason why the doctor wanted to go to Thaddeus. But now we don't know who he is, and we